Hello, at the beginning of this year I painted out all of my watercolour paints and made a swatch folder. So I've got videos of me doing that colour by colour. My swatch folder now has got a little bit outdated because it's fair to say that I've bought quite a few new paints this year. You can see I've been squashing in new ones. So I'd quite like to update my swatch folder and get everything organised again. I just used a cheapy folder with these attached plastic wallets. But I've decided this time I'm going to go for something a little bit different. So I've bought this folder, like a faux leather one, and I think it's for like collecting sports cards or other stuff. So I've decided what I'm going to do is make a card for each watercolour that I own. And then these can slip in the pockets, but it also means that I can rearrange them if they become a bit outdated. This is the size that I want the cards to be, 6.8 by 9.3 centimetres. And I've just cut out with my guillotine a load of cards that size, and this is just generic white cardstock, it's not watercolour paper. So what I want to do is paint some squares of each watercolour and then cut them down to 6 centimetres square and attach them onto these cards, and then I'll write down the paint information underneath each one. So I'm just roughly filling these squares. They're going to be cut down to 6 centimetres, so as long as I go almost up to the edges, I can cut them down to the size that I want fine. And once they've dried and I've cut them out, I'll do a band of mass tone down the side of each one to see the paint at its thickest. I'm just going to do the yellows from my Szmal set first. So this was nickel titanate yellow. And this is nickel azo yellow. Oops. I'll try to get some lighter areas in each box as well. I'm swatching onto Canson XL watercolour paper. I'm choosing that partly because of the cost, it's relatively cheap paper, but also because I think this is the best paper to show off granulating watercolours. I'll include my ochres with my yellows as well. So this is Szmal's transparent gold ochre. This is Szmal's azo yellow gold. I'm not worried about getting a smooth wash. I just like seeing the variation in the paint. See its character a bit. I'm also not going to be doing a black line which I paint over to try and show transparency, because I don't actually find that a very helpful tool. I think all the black line does is show up the most opaque paints and doesn't show much of like the mid-range opacity variations. That's Rosa Gallery's Cadmium Lemon, and this is Rosa Gallery's Cadmium Yellow Light. And then Rosa Gallery's Aureoline. This is Sennelier's Lemon Yellow. And this is Sennelier's Yellow Light. This is Quar's Cadmium Yellow Primrose. And And then this is Quartz Nickel Azo Yellow. And this is Winsor & Newton's Winsor Lemon. So I've written the paint information on the bottom of the little cards, and just to get it in the right place I've been putting a 6 centimetre square piece of paper in there for where my sample's going to go, and then just done a couple of guidelines for where to write each line of information. And then I'm just going to tape runner the back of each sample or swatch and put it on. And then I should probably have done it beforehand, but I'm not too worried. I'm going to put an extra stripe of paint just down one side like that. Just to show the paint in a thicker form. So I've got my first few cards done, and I'll just pop them in the folder now. These are side opening ones. I have got more yellows than these, so these won't be the final order. So I'm not too worried where these go at the moment. But just have a look at what they'll be like. The reason I didn't make my cards fully out of watercolour paper and just paint solidly across the top is because I wanted a bit of white border for each of the colours. I just feel like I can see the colours better that way. There we go. They slide in and out really easily, so they're going to be easy enough to change around when I need to. And I can't remember exactly how many these hold, but over 300 I think. I'll link to this folder anyway in the description box. So yeah, I just thought I'd show you that little project that I've started. I just find it really enjoyable and relaxing doing projects like this. So I'll show you updates from time to time as I fill it in more. Thanks so much for joining me. Bye!